Salute everyone. This is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game combines. You have the thinking class. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to you, Wade. Shout out to everyone that's listening. Let's get it going. Today, we're talking about, man, speak your truth. Don't hold back. So we're going to talk about that today. And then we'll get it going, get it crack-a-lacking today. Shout out to everyone that's listening. Those that are coming in. We've been talking about this from Monday to today. Today is Wednesday. And we're going to go right into it. One second. Let me put this up right quick on the screensaver. One thing. 1 second. Here we go. 1 second. You see who I picked to be up there? I picked two individuals who are in the news right now. One has been banned. They're trying to ban the other one. And you have to question, why are they trying to ban these individuals? 1 second. There we go. Why are they trying to ban these individuals? We're realizing that we're in a culture where it is not good or has not been set up for men to speak their truth. It's not as been welcoming. If you begin to speak your truth, there's always going to be someone who's going to say something against you. If you speak your truth, and I'm saying in this day and age, men, speak your truth. Step up and say what's on your mind. Say what's on your heart. I heard something yesterday when I listened to Ye's, shout out to Ye, to his interview a little bit he had on YouTube. And the guy that was interviewing him, the young lady was interviewing him and another guy named Danny. What's going on? What's going on, Joe Bias? One of the things I seen was this. We get uncomfortable when men begin to speak the truth, or when I'm speaking to the men, because we're dealing with a mass or a herd mentality. Let me say it again. We're dealing with a herd mentality. And when you deal with a herd mentality, you're dealing with people who only, what's going on, Sandra? We're dealing with people who only are thinking about the herd. So when you deal with a herd mentality, this is what happens. Everybody in the herd begins to think the same. They're saying that you look at it from a shepherd's point of view, they're saying that the sheep is one of the dumbest animals. And what happens is we have a lot of people who have a herd mentality. When they say jump off the bridge, all the herd is going to jump off the bridge. So when one person comes outside of the herd and begins to speak his truth and say, hey, sheep, you don't need to do this. What happens is the sheep was like, bad, no, we need to do this the way we go. We need you to get back in line, because when you begin to speak the truth, it messes with us psychologically, because we've been told to do this for so long. So the case with Ye, I heard him say something yesterday was quite interesting. Most of people want to classify him as crazy. He has mental issues and they want to downplay him. Many times we only hear in clips. The same thing with Andrew Tate. You're only hearing clips. The same thing they did with Kevin Samuels. The same thing they did with many people. When they only hear clips or little parts, snippets of what this individual said, instead of listening to the full context of what this individual is saying. Let me say that again. Many times we only hear clips, little snippets, sound bites of what someone is saying, and never hear the full context of what they're saying. So we make our judgments on something that was said in the soundbite that was taken out of context by the individuals. Hence, Piers Morgan in the interview with Andrew Tate. Hence, with Ye on the Drink Champs with what's going on here. So same thing with Ye and on the Drink Champs. Same thing with Ye on the Drink Champs. What you do is you would take a soundbite and take it out of context to make your argument that this person is not mentally stable. This person is crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. Could it be? What's going on? Lonzo saying something. Let me see what he said. He said, Because a person speak their mind, have money does not make the person a genius. Very true. Very true. What's going on, Sandra? What's going on? Not Sandra, but Shalana. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Mason? Now we're going to dismiss. I see what you're saying. Just because a person speak their mind doesn't mean that they have money. Doesn't mean they're a genius. No. But what we got to understand is when we take those variables out of the way, because they speak their mind, and which is a good point, and you take the fact that they have money or not, this is the thing you have to realize. Does what they say make sense? Or does it not apply to you? See, this is where most people, this is where you gotta, does it apply to you or does it not? We're in the culture where everybody's feelings get ruffled. If you say something, oh man, you hurt my feelings, you know what we got over here. We're in the culture where everybody want to. We're in the culture of the everybody hurt my feelings. And you're right, Sandra, right there. She said something that's very good. America wants to have a group thinking process, us versus them, and not individual. Right. Peace. What's going on, Chan? Good to see everybody in here. Good to see everybody. So I want you to get this. I want you to get this. Peace. What's going on? People are way too sensitive. And many times that hurt my feelings. You said that these are people who couldn't take it. Shoot, if you grow in the 80s or in the 70s and 80s when I grew up, you got to take it on the chin. But we're in a culture where we're so insulated when someone begins to speak outside of the herd, outside of the group mentality. Thank you, Sandra, for that. Guess what happens? We feel offended. You shouldn't say that. Oh my God, you hurt me. And what's even worse is we have men who think like this. Not no downplay against women, but the amount of men who are so touchy in my feelings. You said this. Oh my God, I'm gonna make a channel. I'm gonna make a channel and say this. You did this to me. We have that. But I want you to really get this. When you begin to speak outside of the herd mentality, and you begin to say something, you may be saying something, and I want you to get this from what I've gathered from Ye's interview yesterday. You may be, not the Drink Champs, I'm talking about, it was an interview he did yesterday on YouTube. I want you to get it where I think it was Danny, I think it was. You may be speaking not for this time. You may be speaking for a time that's not even here yet. I want you to really get that. So I'm saying, man, speak your truth. Don't hold back. You may be speaking for a time that is not yet here. And so what happens is when people are only in the herd mentality and they only thinking about what they see here and now, and where they eat, where they're going to poop, where they're going to sleep, where they're going to eat, and they're not thinking futuristic, they crucify the people who have a mindset. And I'm not just talking about, this is a bigger scale. I'm not talking about Ye. I'm talking about in a bigger scope. They crucify the person who's in 2030 because we still haven't dealt with 2022. Let me say that again. You crucify, or you social media crucify somebody who's in 2030 because we haven't even got to 2023 yet. And so while they're in the future talking right now, it becomes foreign to us. And so we want them to say, shut up, don't do that, because I'm comfortable where I'm at. And if you go there, I don't know how I would deal because I'm comfortable with the herd. Shout out to you, Joe Blast, with the 10 on that. Appreciate that. Thanks to the alphabet people for making everyone becoming soft and so sensitive. But shout out to you, my brother, for that right there, for that super chat right there. So many times we crucify the people who step outside of the herd because it doesn't fit the mentality that we are in right now. Now, this is outside of Ye. This is outside of Andrew Tate. This is outside. I want you to think bigger than just them. These are just players on the stage of life that happen to have got banned, and one has happened to be in a situation right now where everyone is calling crazy. So the first thing they do when you begin to step outside of the herd, and I want you to really think about this. First thing they do is they want to label you as crazy and deranged. Why do they want to? When you begin to speak your truth, whether you have money or not, they begin to label you as crazy and deranged. Why do they want to label you as that? I'm not talking about Ye. I'm not talking about Andrew Tate. I'm talking about, this is just a bigger picture. Because they know if you stir up the herd, guess what's going to happen? There's going to cause them to get uncomfortable and they become unmanageable. You guys are getting it, man. I'll tell you, this is why they're thinking class. Right, to alienate you. They discount you, right? Hello, what's going on, William? Good to see you, man. So what happens is, if you begin to say some things, you begin to cause the herd to realize, oh, I do have ticks. Oh, I do have fleas. Oh, I didn't like the way they were treating me when we went over the brook. Oh, we should have got more bread, but we didn't get enough bread. I mean, not bread, but enough grass. But now they're doing this. It begins to stir up the herd. And if enough of the herd gets stirred up, they become unmanageable. And what happens is it becomes a threat to the system that keeps the herd in place. And if you can keep the herd, the goal is to keep the herd in place, going down a trajectory that they want them to go down. So now what you do is you automatically demonize those who speak out. I'm not talking about Ye, and I'm not talking about Andrew Tate here. Please understand the thing I'm getting at. I'm not talking about Ye, I'm not talking about Andrew Tate. But they begin to demonize those who begin to speak outside of who was once part of the herd and now outside of the herd, and saying, hey, over here, there's so much grass over here. There's so much water over here. There's so much sunlight. You can sleep when you need to. There's better places to eat over here. You don't have to worry about getting ticks. You can get shaved. You can get sheared anytime you want to. This is the best. So what happens is you demonize, you alienate, you discount, as was said, but you begin to call those individuals crazy and deranged. And also you find a way to mute anything that they say. You find a way to mute anything that they say, because the moment the sheep or the herd hears something, they will follow that new voice and not the shepherd's voice to blindly. Let me say that again. They know if they hear a new voice or a new shepherd who's saying something different, that the sheep will follow it blindly. So if any cost, you look at this at a bigger scale, you want to stop anything or anyone's voice who cause a stir or cause a wrinkle in the economy of the herd. If this is making sense to you, put a 1 in the chat room. If this is making sense to you, put a 1 in the chat room. Put a 1 in the chat room if this is making sense to you. Put a 1 in the chat room if this is making sense to you. Don't Chase Bank break relationship. Didn't Chase Bank break relationship with Ye over something he said? Is that illegal? That make it, yeah. You seen that, Sandra? You're right. They're quick to follow the golden calf. You guys are getting it. That's it. It's making sense. I want you to get that. So what happens is when a person begins to speak their truth, whether they're male or female, but I'm talking to the men first, you can't hold back. You gotta think. Let me say this. Sometimes, and this is I've seen this when you look at history. Sometimes I'm thinking about a particular individual, and he was prominent in the 60s and 70s and late 80s. He spoke some truth, some things that people are now just now catching up and say and celebrating them. It took almost 3 to 4 generations for people to catch up to what he was saying. Let me say that again. This individual was prominent during the 60s and the 70s, and people were, oh, he's a slicker, he's grabbing people, he's trying to take people money and all like that. Now they're kids. Now the people who criticize him, kids and grandkids, what? Celebrate him, post his quotes, love all his videos, and say, wow, this guy is amazing. Where is he now? Sometimes your message, when you begin to speak the truth and don't hold back, is not for the generation that you're speaking to right now. So they're trying to mess with his money, to shut him down. Worst thing, make him apologize. Right. Just like Nori did. Apologize. Right. So when you so what you do is right, Sandra, right there. So if allegedly, I got to say it that way, allegedly that Chase Bank want to stop Ye's money. Why? Because they want to stop him from speaking or saying anything, so that I'm going to attack you where it really hurts, and that's with your money. I'm going to shut down your account. You're very right. That's exactly who I was talking about, Joe Brass. It was Reverend Ike. It was exactly Reverend Ike who I was referring to. And when you generate a following, you become a tree, and you are deplatformed. Right. That's exactly what's it. So you got to understand. Let me explain that cycle again. So they didn't like him in the 70s and the 60s and the 70s. Oh, he's doing this. He's taking money to Prayer Club and all this kind of stuff. But yet their children now and grandchildren celebrate him. Sometimes when you begin to speak truth, your truth is not for this generation. I'm going to say something. I'm going to speak a truth. Okay, let's get that out of there. I know this was coming. See how this happened? The bots want to come. Grab it. Come on, snipers. Get them, get them, get them. Thank you. So sometimes your truth is not for this generation. Yeah, so yeah, they're talking about the real JEW, and they got an issue with it. Yep, that's a whole issue. That's a whole thing. So I want you to get this part right here. Since your truth is not for, you got to speak your truth, and it may not be for this generation. What happens is you have to realize when you begin to speak your truth, you have to be, something we said Monday, you have to be calculated on who you're speaking your truth to, and when to bring it out and when season to bring it out. Now, they may not celebrate it. So right now, this is going on. I guarantee you, we would have dipped down 20 years from now, it'd be 2042. People were looking about this and say, why are they upset at what Andrew Tate said? Why are they upset at what Ye said? Why do they have issues with that? You know why? Because this generation cannot deal with someone stepping out of the herd mentality. Let me say something. The thought came back to me. That is the reason why all this pushback we have with men traveling, or not to travel, and dating and things like that. What's going on? What's going on, bro? Peace to the gods. Peace to you, bro. We've got to realize this. The goal on when you speak is not for this generation. Yes, Tate was a threat to the matrix, but men are waking up. He's still going right. So when you realize that, you begin to realize that you begin to awaken and realize what I'm saying. You're not ready for it. You still smell like sheep. And if you've been around sheep before, you realize sheep doesn't have a really pleasant smell. They have a distinct odor that's just beyond me. They don't smell like flowers. And you realize that a lot of people that, or especially with the social media and people who own social media platforms, smell like sheep. And what happens is when you begin to stir up the sheep, like I said earlier, and you begin to say things that may not be ready for everyone's ready for, guess what? They want to silence you. Give another case. Let's give another case study. It was only several, what's going on, Black J? It was only several months past where we had people criticizing, threatening, calling this man gay, saying things about KS. That when he died, guess what? Oh my God, what he said was the truth, man. That was my dog. Sometimes the messenger has to pass on so that the truth can live on. You need to put that in the chat room. Sometimes the messenger has to pass on so that the truth can live on. Yeah, we've been talking about it already. Yeah. Sometimes the messenger has to pass on so that the truth can live on. You better catch what I'm saying. Sometimes the messenger has to pass on so that the truth can live on. Because many times we get caught, and I don't mean pass on like they have to die off the scene. What I mean is many times they may have to be pulled away so that you can not look at the messenger and really understand the message. Let me say that again. Many times you got to look past the messenger so that you can get the message. Many people, yes, shout out, rest in peace to KS. Many times it wasn't until he jumped off the scene, the messenger, that we begin to say, wait a minute, the message that what he was saying makes sense. Because we're so enamored with the messenger in his personality, in his flaws, in his inadequacies, in his inconsistencies, that we don't see the consistency in the truth and what he's saying. Same thing with Ye Andrew Tate. Think about it. I want you to really do a case, pull back and do a really case study and research and think about it. Sometimes the messenger has to pass on so that the truth can live on. I give another. There are other examples of in our lifetime, brother. Yep. Brother Elliot. Yep. So I want you to think about this. It was only when, and I'm not, and this no shot to anybody. Everybody, you got to understand. I'm giving another example. I'm not a fan of Tupac. I never was. But when Tupac passed on, guess what? His raps, his lyrics become what? Live past him, and they have relevance because we're so enamored by the person that we don't really hear what they're really saying. It was only the passing of Malcolm that when Malcolm passed away, wait a minute. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said when he was here in Cleveland? The ballot or the bullet? That was around the corner from where I stay at, where he spoke that message back in the 60s at Corey Methodist Church on 105. It was only then, Malcolm, Prince, Michael, that we realized the relevance of what they're saying. When these men begin to speak their truth, because we were so enamored by Michael, he looked funny. Oh, look at Michael. You know, he got surgery and he got the hair and he caught the Coca. He was drinking Pepsi and he did the commercial and his hair caught on fire. And oh my God, Michael don't know what he's talking about. That we realized what Michael was really talking about. And you gave a good example. Shout out to Prince. Yeah, I'm not a Tupac fan. I'm sorry, I never was. I just never was. But I will, and then, like you said, with Prince, musical genius. But if you step back and get past his character of who he is and and looked at his life from a higher plane, you will see how much this man spoke truth. Why did he call himself Simbo? Why did he make a symbol? He was protesting against the record labels. Why was he having a problem with the record labels? Why did he finally get his rights back to his music? Why did he do that? Where are all the catalog of music that he had that he was doing? What was his work ethic? It was the art. Why? You got to understand it's bigger. You might be speaking your truth. Let me see some of this. All I want to say is they don't care about us. Michael Jackson. That's one of my Michael Jackson things. I listened to the lyrics last week. Deep. Right. See? Did you listen to Michael Jackson? All I want to say is they don't care about us. Amazing track. Changed the way artists do business, and he was trying to help people with solar. Come on. Me either. He is good at acting though. Yeah. So you talking about, yes, even though they passed on, the seeds has been planted in the subconscious, and that's all it takes sometimes. You guys are getting it. But you know how much they ridicule Prince? Especially Michael Jackson? Yes. That the Man in the Mirror for me. See, everybody has their favorite song. When you listen to the lyrics of these different artists, and we had to use artists because this is a great example. We do a research of it. These guys, and it's not saying that there's not women, but I want to say these guys spoke their truth. That wasn't. Think about it. Whoa. Let's pull back, and I want y'all all to put this in the chat room. I'm gonna put something in there. Now, I ain't walking. I want you to put this in the chat room. I'm really. Prince got a lot of that when he came out with them chaps. Let me say this. Put this in the chat room. You're gonna get this. Put 1999. That's all you gotta do is put 1999. You know I'm going to get some water. I had to go to the kitchen and get some water. Put 1999. Put 1999 in the room, in the chat room. I woke up this morning, little people moving everywhere. 1999. This man, think about it, even though it was a record. The sky was purple and there were people running everywhere. 1999. I want you to catch what I'm about to say. This is so exciting. This man did a record, and anybody can do the research right now and tell me when he created 1999. Then when 1999 came, actually, that was the song that everybody played. When was 1999 the song created? Think about it. I want you to really catch what I'm getting at. Man, speak your truth. What if he never made he said, nah, man, what if they told the record company, don't you make no song called 1999? Man, don't you do that. Don't make no, hey man, it's in the 80s, man. Ain't nobody gonna listen to no song called 1999, player. We pop locking and break dancing right now. Prince said, no, I'm going to make a song called 1999. He wrote that in 1982. Pay attention to what I'm saying to you. Pay attention. He wrote that in 1982. He wrote 1999 and I remember looking at the album. As a kid, I was like, wow, look at all these symbols and things like that. I'm like, this guy is way out there. Remember, we were all scared that the computer was going to run the world to sound like Prince, right? October 82 was when Prince wrote 1999. I want you to catch this. What if they told Prince, the record company, and the people around him, his friends, hey man, don't make that. Don't make no thing, man. Jive turkey, man. We coming from afros to Jerry curls, man. Ain't nobody thinking about no 1999. Hey man, I don't even know if I'm gonna be here. No, I'm going to make that album called 1999. You know how Prince talked. I'm going to make 1999. and it's going to be a hit. You'll see and wait. It took him to have the audacity to make a song in 1982 for 1999. Imagine a record executive saying, "Nah, man, I ain't gonna do it." Nah, you sound like Morris Day. You know, it took it, but I want you to get that. He made a record or made a song for a time that had not yet come. Catch what I'm saying. Many times we are speaking truths or speaking things for people who are not yet born or who cannot yet appreciate what we say. When 1999 came, dearly beloveds, I wish I could play it. I may just play it and forget. I might get dinged by YouTube. I might just play it. But even then, you think about it. Think about it. He made that song in 1982 for 1999 for people who were not even born, who when the year 1999 came, guess what? Everybody and their mama was playing Prince song, and he's sitting back there like, yes, yeah, I knew this. But I want you to make it personal now to you. What things voice typer sucks at my dialect. I want you to really get this. Many times we need to speak our truth because what? It's not for the generation that's here now. And men and women would wake up and realize that you need to speak your truth. Dearly beloved, let's go crazy. Yup, see how y'all know it? See how you know it? And that was written in 1982, or that was put out in 1982. No telling when it was really written. He could have wrote that back when he was back in the 70s when he had his show. My point is, men, brethren, I'm speaking to the brothers, sisters, speak your truth. It may not be for the people around you. It may not be for the sheep around you. It may not be for everybody around you. Now, what if I remember seeing a documentary, and I want you to get this about Prince, because Prince is a great example. Prince got booed off of a stage. That's right. Prince Roger Nelson got booed off of a stage. And think about it. Your name is Prince. Come on, how much more? Got booed off of the stage. What he did was he gathered us up, put us up together, and went back out there. He spoke his truth. He did his music his way. Got to understand what I'm getting at you. We're talking about speaking your truth and don't hold back. He decided to not allow society. He didn't allow people to define how he was going to put out his music and what he was going to say. Because I remember one song, my parents were like, "You ain't gonna play that in my house." But Prince had a voice. He spoke truth and the same at the same time. Correct. That's right. Little Red, correct. I'm correct. I remember Controversy. I'm black or white, straight or gray. Yep. See? You know you live a good life when you live long enough to go from wrong to right and right to wrong. See, you guys see, according to society. Yep. So I want you to really catch this about speaking your truth. What if Prince never would have, that time he got pulled off a stage and the back and forth he had with Michael Jackson, the love-hate relationship they had with each other. My point is, you got to speak your truth and don't hold back. There are people not yet born, people not yet awakened to who you are and what you have to say. Please get what I'm saying. You don't have to have a platform like I'm doing. You don't have to be on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all Twitter and everything like that to have a platform. But in your circle, you have a level of influence where you can speak your truth, that you can say something that they will remember for the rest of their life to the next generations. Prince is an excellent example. People thought, and then think about Prince didn't do really much interviews. He didn't do many interviews. People thought they didn't know if Prince was, they didn't know if Prince was what? He didn't know if he was part of on the team or he wasn't on the other team. We didn't know what side Prince was. But when we found out the real deal, Prince had all the ladies. While we were questioning his sexuality, we didn't know that Prince was just playing a role and he had all the ladies and he would beat you at basketball. Catch what I'm saying. Catch what I'm saying. Most people only looking at right now. They never go back and look from a what? From a place, from a high place and look down and say, what's really going on? And what we're seeing, say, with Andrew Tate and what we're seeing with Ye is nothing new. It is not, there is nothing new under the sun. They are just what? They are just players. One big chess game. Public Enemy. Sorry, I got to put that out. They're just players on one big chess game. What they're doing is a repeat of history. I'm telling you. So the song, let me definitely say the song. The song my father said I couldn't listen to because my father was a preacher. He was an overseer in the Lord's church. He said, you would not sing, you would not play Do Me Baby by Prince, and you would not play If I Was Your Girlfriend in this house. Let me say that again. Two songs that were not played in my father's house was Do Me Baby and If I Was Your Girlfriend. Anybody know that song? Put a number 2 in the chat room. Let me say that again. Do Me Baby and If I Was Your Girlfriend. We wouldn't have, if I played that, was going to be I had some talking to. My father did not want me and my brother to listen to those songs. How you going to talk about If I Was Your Girlfriend? No, that ain't about to happen here. And Do Me Baby is too sexual. You not going to play that in my household. Nope, you ain't going. If you know those two songs, you understand why my father, who was a preacher, was actually a teacher more. But he was in the Lord church. He wasn't gonna have that in this. He ain't gonna have that in this household. Now that's a good point, Black Check. I'm gonna bring it up. Andrew Tate's gonna be all right, but I'm worried about Ye. So that's a good point. Good point to make. So with Andrew Tate, which most people don't want to recognize, Andrew Tate is really black. I don't care what know how you spin it. The man is black. Yeah, my dad didn't want it. My dad wasn't trying to understand the premise If I Was Your Girlfriend. No, he wasn't trying to. He said, nope, you ain't playing that here, boy. Get the lights up. So I want you to get this. Andrew Tate is black. I'm not trying to, it's not a color thing here, but he's black. Two different trajectories with Andrew Tate and Ye. Two different platforms, two different voices coming up. And the first thing you do when a man begins to speak the truth, and I'm saying this, repeating for those who just came in, you want to silence the voice that stirs up the sheep. You want to silence the voice that stirs up the sheep. Think about it. There were people who were trying to ban Prince songs. Because back when I was a kid, they were saying that if you play Prince songs backwards, you actually heard the devil talking. If you know about that, put that you put a 3 in the chat and you know about that one. I know I'm telling my age. Back when I was a kid, back in the 70s and 80s, they said if you play Prince song backwards, he was saying something and was satanic and that the devil was talking through his songs. I'm gonna tell you, y'all might not be ready for that. Back in the 80s and 70s, I remember it was a whole thing about Prince songs that if you played it backward, I can't even think what song it was. It might have been 1999. It might have been another song. If you play it backward, you hear God. you hear him saying something, and you hear him saying something backwards, and the devil is speaking, and God is saying something. Man, they did that. They did that with a couple of rock songs too. I cannot think of a couple of hard rocks that used to do the same thing. You play the song backwards. Oh man, the devil is speaking through them songs. You better not play them now, brother. 3. Yeah, you remember that? Y'all remember that? 3. Let me see what you say right here. I mentioned, yeah, he did a whole B-side with backward songs called God. See, he took advantage of people being scared. But yeah, back when I was a kid, man, what they said that about run this street, run this town. Hold on, got it. Say run this town, Rihanna. And yeah, I never heard that about Prince. I heard about rock music. Yeah, it was with Prince song. You play Prince song backward, baby. Yeah, man. I can't think who it was. It might have been AC/DC was the rock song. I think it was AC/DC and a couple other guys, but it was definitely Prince. I remember the whole reverse thing, holding hidden messages. Yeah, I never knew that about Prince. Yeah, Prince, boy, you play that and go back like this. And me and my brother with our bad selves. Yep, and then my childhood was attacked on heavy metal. Yep. So me and my brother with our mischievous selves. I'm gonna say bad. We were mischievous. We took our aunt. She had the Prince album. We would go upstairs in the attic, put it on the thing, and then we made sure we didn't scratch the record, but we would run if they're listening, don't tell them. But we would run the whole thing back real slow so that we can hear what we were saying. Do you understand that the attack, even on Prince, on different artists, so that their message or their music and art wouldn't get out? Understand, man, I need you to speak your truth and don't hold back. But know, like someone said, know what crowd that you're speaking to. Sometimes, and I'm saying it again for those in the back of the room, sometimes you cannot speak your truth to people who are not awakened to receive your truth. This goes for Ye, and this go for what? Andrew Tate and anyone else who's speaking up. And then let me say this because I gotta go. That's crazy. You said that's crazy. How many people actually heard records players to go backward up? So let me say this. When you begin to speak your truth, please understand what I'm about to say next. This is powerful. This is powerful. When you begin to speak your truth, you will have people who look like you, who talk like you, who will come against you. Let me say that again for those in the back. When you begin to speak your truth and say what you're saying, you will have those who were Nori, who say they down with you, but then kowtow because they can't stand that. They can't stand the rain. Can you stand the rain? You can't stop the rain. They will stop you from what? Speaking your truth. They will become your contemporaries, trying to stop you from speaking your truth. Let me read what saying. I was a Prince super fan. He was the first artist concert I attended, and I was not ready. 8th grade. Never should have been listened to Soft and Wet. Oh my God. Oh my God. I cried for a month when he died. Was killed by drugs addiction. Yeah. So yeah. See, but I want you to get, and that's Soft and Wet. You shouldn't have been listened to that in the 8th grade. No. But I want you to get this. You will have contemporaries or people who say that your peer group will come along and come to silence your voice. Look, I want you to catch this. Your peer group, or those you call your peers, will come and say, hey, we're your friend. We're down with you, brother. But at the same time, they're on assignment to stop you from speaking your truth. Like in the song by Public Enemy, Night Train, some of them looking just like you. Right. You got to understand this. When you begin to speak your truth, your peer group will say, do what you saying ain't right, buddy. And what, because of your connection, because of your peer, you begin to say, oh yeah, you know what? I might have had too much water when I went to sleep. I must have ate some Apple Jacks when I went to sleep, and I'm having all these dreams, these Johnny Appleseed dreams. And it must be, you begin to doubt and question your very existence and your very truth that you have spoken. Careful of your peer group trying to put you back in line. Careful of your peer group who's trying to put you back in line because they cannot see the truth that you're saying, or they cannot digest where you're going. See, they're thinking, your peer group thinking, well, hey, we went to the same high school, elementary school, junior high school. We rocked together. We did everything together. How dare you step out of the peer group and say something say something like that? How dare you step out and start your own business? How dare you do something that's not like we were doing? So you got to be careful, not only just of the sheep, but you got to be careful of the peer group who's trying to keep you handcuffed because they're comfortable, because they may be above the sheep, but they're your peer group, so they feel like they know you. You ain't the same when you know certain truths. You are not the same when you know certain truths, because it reveals a different version of who you are. It reveals a different version of who you are. So your peers may not be able to digest who you are, because they may be above the sheep, but they may be they're too familiar of the old version of who you are. Man, I'm saying so much. Let me hurry up. They may know the old version of you. So what you got to do, and I'm coming to a close, as any preacher or anybody would say, I'm coming to a close with this one. You have to pay attention to this one. Pay attention to this one. You have to find the truth and the tribe that will celebrate the new version of you, but the truth that you are speaking. You have to find the tribe of people who resonate at the level of the truth that you're saying with you, so that you can move forward in what you're going. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Gather this. Let this stick on you right quick. You have to speak your truth, but you have to find the people, the tribe, who resonate with the truth that you're saying. Example with KS. Everyone didn't rock with KS, but he found a group of men who did understand, and women who understood his truth. Didn't say they have to agree completely 100%, but you got to find the group of people and say, oh, what you're saying, catch this, as what I've been thinking. Put that in the chat room and I'm going. Let me read this. That's tribe swapping, LDA. Complications from both pain, sleeping, and medication, almost like Michael Jackson. He lived on pain relief and almost in the high heels dancing. It's like, right. I still don't rock with KS Masters as a whole, but I see what he was trying to do. See my point. You don't have to rock with. I'm not looking for everybody, but I want you to get this. Find the tribe. This is the phrase. They're saying what you've been thinking. Also open to receive that season of the tribe. Correct. Good point. See, that's what most people don't get. There always has to be a voice first that awakens what's been sleeping inside of you. There always has to be a voice first speaking that awakens something that's inside of you. Woo, man. You got to catch this. So sad to say, I went to two concerts, one with Grand Central Station, and the other he performed only non-secular new music. Birth concert was awesome. See, I want you to get this. The person speaking the truth, awake or speak something that's been asleep inside of you, and you begin to awaken. I want you to get the likes up, hit the likes, comment, share this video. I'm glad I didn't play this. I want this to get some traction. Got to understand when you begin, man, speak your truth. We'll be back Friday. Don't forget, we got the t-shirts coming. The t-shirts are coming. Where the t-shirts? Where the t-shirts? Right here. Simple t-shirts. What did it say? Don't get mad. Just leave. That's my papa saying. Don't get mad. Just leave. Don't forget about the t-shirt. Get the likes. Thank you for the super chats. Woo, boy, you got to understand. You got to understand the warrior spirit cannot be censored. Right. That's like the 5%. Find the truth that you're speaking. Many people have been waiting for you to speak your truth so that they can awaken to who they are. It may not be for this what? It may not be for this generation, for these people, but it's for somebody else. Yeah, this is the t-shirt. I'm going to order it first and see the quality, but that's the t-shirt. It's my grandfather. So all these, anybody trying to jack it, anybody say, I said that. No, my grandfather have been saying this since probably from the 70s. He used to say that. He used to say that too. He used to say it all the time. Don't get mad, just leave. So it's Papa Jonas McCall. That's his name. That's what he said to me. He used to say that to me. I was like, Papa, where we gonna go? I don't know, but don't get mad, just leave. I got some other sayings he used to say, but I'm gonna get this t-shirt out. Let me read these comments. You said, I want that t-shirt. Yeah, I'll miss another Friday session. No problem. I'm so glad to have you here, Sandra. And I miss these truths. Yeah, good. Somebody sending me something going on. What's going on here? Oh, somebody notification. Oh, so wait, you have to say it. Who's calling me now? Okay, you can't be calling me now. You can't call right now. So wait, you have to say it just to find out if somebody don't even know they believe it or not, right? Like Bernie Mac used to say the thing you're afraid to say. Say the thing you're afraid to say. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to everyone. This is Lawrence D. Adams. Great show today. Thank you for listening. Share, like, comment, get the t-shirt. You see the t-shirt, it is coming. I'm waiting for it to come first before I actually begin to put it in a market to sell. But that's the t-shirt right there. Don't get mad, just leave. It is what it is. But this is Lawrence D. Adams. We out of here. Shout out to the thinking class. Peace and beard grease. We out of here.
you got, man. Tell me what you want, babe. Look at what you got, man. Tell me what you want, babe, and you'll get it. Look at what you got, man. Don't forget it. Tell me what you want, babe, and you'll get it. Look at what you got, man. Don't forget it. Tell me what you want, babe, and you'll get it. Look at what you got, man. Don't forget it. 'Cause I can give you what you need. I'll be your fantasy. I got you. Tell me what you want, babe, then come get it. Tell me what you want, babe, you'll get it, man. Don't forget it, babe, and you'll get it, man. Don't forget it, babe, and you'll get it.